Good evening. A few minutes ago, the United States ambassadors to every country in the world told the leaders of those nations what I am about to tell you. It's a bit complicated, so it will take some time, so I hope you will bear with me, hear what I have to say. A little over a year ago, two American astronomers, Marcus Wolf and Leo Biederman, working on a mountaintop in Arizona, saw something in the night sky that caused them great concern. A comet. But the comet was, well, there was a remote possibility that the comet was on a path that could bring it into direct contact with the Earth. Now, we get hit all the time by rocks and meteors, some of them the size of cars, some no bigger than your hand. But the comet we discovered is the size of New York City, from the north side of Central Park to the Battery, about 7 miles long. Put another way, this comet is larger than Mount Everest. It weighs 500 billion tons. Our chances are this thing is
astrophysicists, geologists, and climatologists.
Where the hell is science?
Okay, Paris, Tokyo, Tel Aviv. I want it everywhere.
The Hale Bob stand-ups.
And graphics! I need graphics!
Comets began far out in space. They're what's left over from the creation of the solar system, after the planets were formed billions of years ago. Now, these chunks of space debris are in an elongated orbit around our sun. But every now and then, one of them gets bumped, sort of like a billiard ball on a pool table, and is knocked into a different orbit. Now, if this comet continues on its path around the sun and keeps its present course, sometime on August 16th, roughly a year from now, there's a chance that we might have impact. So for the past 8 months, the United States and Russia have been building the largest spaceship ever constructed. It's being built in orbit around the Earth, and we call it the Messiah. And right now, a team of American astronauts and one Russian are at Cape Canaveral in Florida. In 2 months, they will leave on the shuttle Atlantis to board the Messiah. This is the crew that will stop the comet. I'd like the world to meet some extraordinary people. First is Mission Commander Oren Monash. Commander, would you introduce us to your team?
I would be honored, sir. Pilot Andrea Baker, Medical Officer Gus Partenza. From Russia, Nuclear Specialist Colonel Mikhail Tulchinsky. Navigator Mark Simon, and Rendezvous Pilot Spurgeon Tanner.
Hello, Mr. President.
Captain Tanner, you flew 6 shuttle missions. You were the last man to walk on the moon, weren't you, sir?
Yes, sir, but Oren here will be doing most of the flying on this one. I'll just be taking us down to the comet's surface.
Well, it's good to know we're going to have your kind of experience up there, Captain.
Thank you, sir.
Godspeed to you all. We're counting on you.
Thank you, sir.
Got Beijing, Rome, Sao Paulo, Cairo, Berlin. Does anyone know how big the one was that killed all the dinosaurs?
Something majestic, mysterious, and with a fanfare for the intro and the theme to the longer promos.
You want it hitting the goddamn Earth? Well, that's what he's saying. Bring that up again. It'll scare the shit out of
Celebrate any destruction of our way of life. Our society will continue as normal. Work will go on. You will pay your bills. There will be no hoarding. There will be no sudden profiteering. I'm freezing all wages, all prices. What a bottle of water cost you yesterday, it will cost you tomorrow. Now I'll take a few questions. Ms. Lerner?
Jenny Lerner, MSNBC.
Jenny Lerner.
Son of a bitch.
Mr. President, why wasn't this announcement made sooner?
Well, until we knew we could build the rocket and the comet could be intercepted, we saw no reason to alarm the planet.
Sir.
Do you have another question, Ms. Lerner?
Yeah, is there a connection between the comet and the recall of American troops from abroad?
Our fighting men and women are coming home because we felt it prudent, in light of domestic security concerns, to have them available. Although I certainly hope we don't need to use them. Next question.
Actually, Mr. President, if just one final question, sir. MSNBC has learned that Secretary Rittenhouse did not leave for the reasons announced by your administration. In fact, isn't it true, sir, that not everyone in your administration is convinced that the Messiah will save us?
Secretary Rittenhouse served his country with full devotion. He resigned for personal reasons. Now, I can promise you this, Ms. Lerner, all of you, everyone in this room and everyone listening to my voice, that at some point over the next 10 months, all of us will entertain our worst fears and concerns. But I can also promise you this: life will go on. We will prevail.
Mr. President!
Hello, America. It is my unhappy duty to report to you that the Messiah has failed. This computer-enhanced radar image from Houston shows how the detonation succeeded, however, did not destroy the comet. There are now two pieces, one 6 miles wide, the other 1.5 miles. Both are still on the path towards Earth. We've lost communication with the Messiah spacecraft, although we continue to track it visually. We don't know how many are alive. We don't know their condition. Now we have to make some decisions together. What do we do? You have a choice. We have a choice right now. Ever since the comet was discovered, we've been hoping and working for the best, but we've also been planning for the worst. Our strategy has been twofold. First, our Strategic Missile Command is preparing to coordinate with the Russians a massive strike of Titan missiles to intercept the comets. If we can deflect these comets enough, they will bounce harmlessly off our atmosphere and head on out into space. Unfortunately, the Titans cannot be launched until the comets are only a few hours away. And while we are confident the missile attack will succeed, it is only prudent that we now take cautionary steps to ensure the continuation of our way of life, to guarantee that there will be enough of us left to rebuild a new world in the unlikely event that the comets do strike the Earth. So, in the soft limestone of Missouri, we've been preparing a network of immense caves, and they're almost finished. And we can put 1 million people in them. And that 1 million people can survive there underground for 2 years until the air clears and the dust settles. Now, the cave is more than a dormitory. It's our new Noah's Ark. We're storing seeds and seedlings, plants, animals, enough to start over. On August 10th, a computer will randomly select 800,000 Americans to join the 200,000 scientists, doctors, engineers, teachers, soldiers, and artists who have already been chosen. Other countries are preparing similar caves along whatever lines they feel are best to preserve their way of life. This is ours. Beginning tonight and continuing until the crisis passes, I am declaring a state of martial law. The armed forces and the National Guard are working with local law enforcement. A national curfew begins at midnight tonight. Now, wherever you are, go home. Stay off the roads after sunset. Crimes against persons or property will be dealt with swiftly and harshly. News stations around the nation are being faxed copies of the lottery procedure as we speak, and they'll be broadcasting the details to you in a few moments. I wish... No. Wishing is wrong. It's the wrong word right now. That's not what I mean. What I mean is, I believe in God.
Relax.
I know a lot of you don't, but I still want to offer a prayer for our survival, mine included. Because I believe that God, whomever you hold that to be, hears all prayers, even if sometimes the answer is no. So May the Lord bless you.